Hey, what's going on, YouTube? What's happening? So this is CC Talk here again, coming through after the daytime Emmys has just finished up, and yeah, I have decided to post this video. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have already done seen the awards. If you haven't, then you can check out the official Emmy Awards page on YouTube. They usually put up the show either after the full show, after the live show had ended last night, or they'll post it sometime later on Monday. But anyways, great night, especially if you're a Days of Our Lives fan, particularly me. So, but I think it was just an overall good night. For the most part. So let's go ahead and hit up the, winners in each category. Let's not waste any time in that. So in these technical categories, Best Directing went to Days of Our Lives. Very happy about that. They haven't won Best Directing since like the late 70s, early 80s. So it's been a minute for them. And so for them to win it was a shocker. It was definitely an upset because nobody had them winning. I didn't have them winning because I thought General Hospital, maybe even, Bold and the Beautiful might get it. But, Days of Our Lives pulling that out, and it basically was material from the episode of The Wedding. And so that says a lot. Like, when you have Robert Scott Wilson in these reels, honey, he's starting to become like that Maurice Bernard for Days of Our Lives. You have Robert Scott Wilson in a reel, it's an automatic winner because this happened with, Kate Mansi last year, and now pretty much all the major categories pretty much went to Days tonight, and guess who was in those reels? Robert Scott Wilson. So that's saying a lot, and I can't wait to see Robert Scott Wilson back on the show. He's on contract now, and so I can't wait to get my baddie sexy being back. And I can't wait. I think Ron Carlivati is gonna write him. Just gonna write the hell out of him. Let's just keep it real, And I look forward to that because I want that boy nominated and so he can win for next year because he deserves it. I don't want him to be constantly used as a prop so Days could keep winning Emmys. Like, no, he deserves his just due just like the rest of them. You feels me? But overall, I thought the speech was very classy for the directing team, and how he just put it out there like, yeah, we do 6 months, no, about 5 or 6 months of material, 130 something pages a day. And I heard people in the audience was like gasping. They were like, like they just could not fucking believe like they actually were filming a show that far in advance and taking in that much material. And yeah, it was great stuff. So kudos to the directing team of Days of Our Lives getting that second victory in their history. So that was fantastic. Best writing went to Days of Our Lives. This was, in my opinion, the biggest fuck you to several people. For the last 2.5 years, y'all know Days of Our Lives before Ron had got there, it was a hot diggity dog mess from Josh Griffith, Dana Higley, Beth Milstein. Their focus, their drive, their hackish behavior was dreadful for Days of Our Lives, and it really just ruined the show for a good couple of years. But then Ron came up in there and he really started telling some soapy, realistic storytellings up in there the second half of 2017. And I am so glad they turned in the material for the second half of 2017 because that was, in my opinion, that was when Dave started to rise. And I'm so glad that Ron and Sherry and Ryan turned in that material like that. And it was great to see Ron having his moment winning Best Writer. It was just fantastic, and it was great. It was very, very excited to see him win it, and yeah, that was awesome to see. And so kudos to him. I think this is on his second Emmy win ever because I think he won one for no, he won. Hold up, I'm trying to remember. I think he won one as a head on One Life to Live. And then, yeah, this is his second win for Days of Our Lives. So again, kudos to him Just keep writing great stuff, but take off this damn DID storyline off my TV screen, Ron. I'm tired of seeing it. Look, I'm ready for this to end. I'm ready for it to end, Ron. Ready for it to end. I'm just saying. Um, but special guest nominee. This doesn't get a lot of love. This category does, but hey, we're gonna talk about it. So the winner of the night was, I hope I'm saying her name right, Vaneri Waltons, and she's the woman that came for the Fresh Prince, and she's on General Hospital. And yeah, she won for special guests, and I kind of figured she would win it, because one, she's from the Fresh Prince, and two, she's on General Hospital. So that kind of like, you got two pop culture shows going hand in hand. It's like bound that's gonna be a solid W taken home to the bank. So I was pretty much okay with that win. So kudos to her on that. Then we go ahead and jump to the best younger actor and actress category. These were the two bummers of the night for me. I'm not gonna lie. Best younger actress went to Chloe Lanier for General Hospital. There's no shade against Chloe Lanier. She does her job. She does what she needs to do. But I really wanted Rain Edwards to win, considering she's been, nominated 3 times in this category. She, it's like, what can this girl do in order to fucking win the golden statuette? And I felt like this was her best storyline that she could perform for the Emmys, and unfortunately she crapped out again, and she lost yet again to General Hospital. So that was tough to watch. But Chloe Lanier, I'm pretty sure the scene that wooed them was when she went up against Laura Wright, and she started getting in Laura Wright's face, Carly, about sleeping with her husband, and she got slapped for it. And usually those type of scenes like that always make the Emmy committee melt. So I'm not surprised by that. But again, congratulations to Chloe Lanier. Now, the next category really... I just can't believe this. But Casey Moss was robbed. He was robbed. He was robbed. And don't be coming on my video talking about he didn't sell the suicide. He wasn't believable. Bullshit. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. You can't even say that with a straight face if you wanted to. Okay, but the committee gave it to Ron Flynn for Bold and the Beautiful. Again, there's no shade against Ron Flynn. I think he's a good actor, but if you're telling me Ron Flynn's acting is better than Casey Moss's, you a mother lie. Like, you are lying to yourself. You need to stop lying to yourself. I just do not believe you at all. I mean, Casey Moss had a beginning, middle, end with his reel that was riveting, powerful, compelling. And you mean to tell me that was not the winner? Seriously? I can't. I want to know what penalized Casey Moss from winning this, because to me, that was my winner for Gold Derby. Like, I had that down for 500 points, and I pretty much lost big time in that one. So that was hard. That was a tough one. I feel so bad for Casey Moss, because again, I'm pretty sure he'll have more opportunities to show off, to the future Emmy committees that he can possibly win one of these golden statuettes. But I just don't know what could else woo them with this type of socially relevant storyline, and he didn't get it. But yeah, that was a tough one. But again, there's no begrudging Ron Flynn. I can never hate Ron Flynn for winning. Kudos to him. But I just feel like Casey Moss should have took it. That's all. Let's go on to Best Supporting Actor and Actress. Best Supporting Actress went to Cam Grimes for Y&R. I was actually thrilled that she won. I thought that there would possibly be a tie, or maybe Michelle Morgan might play spoiler and take it from the rest of the women in the category. But Cam Grimes won, and she's one win away from doing the, what's it called, the what is it called? The Triple Crown, as they call it, where you win Best Young Actress, Best Supporting, and then Best Lead. So she's one away from that. And yeah, she had a wonderful acceptance speech, and her reel was pretty good. It was very, again, riveting, powerful. Um, about, Mariah's journey and possibly falling in love with a woman and being rejected by Tessa and the emotions that she felt about that. And and that was good. And her dress was phenomenal. Just beautiful. I was like, wow. And that's the thing about the Daytime Emmys. Everyone comes dressed to impress. This is probably one of the few award shows, probably besides the Oscars, where the women and men, when they come to this awards, they always look classy, clean, beautiful, breathtaking, hot, sexy, just, yeah, like, you could just take them on a night on the town. And she worked her dress. She had that red, beautiful dress with the slit up the side. I said, okay, look at you, Cam Grimes. I see you, girl. Miss Hot Thing. So I was here for that. So big congratulations to her. Next, Best Supporting Actor went to Greg Vaughn. Greg Vaughn, yes, I am so happy for him. This is his first time being nominated. He's been pre-nommed, I think, before with Days of Our Lives, but never made the nomination. So for him to win it on his first ever try was phenomenal. And his acceptance speech was, oh, it touched your heart. Like, even if you're not religious or anything like that, it still touched your heart because he got all emotional and he just couldn't believe that he won. And you know what? His win, I am so happy that he won because this was a big fuck you to Dina Higley. Dina Higley did not want to write for Eric Brady. Greg Vaughn pretty much shipped that boy off to jail for killing Daniel Jonas. And she didn't want to write for him. And she, by the last minute of her, run as a head writer, she brought him back, and then Ron took over and gave him some of the best material he's ever had. And he worked that triangle storyline to his advantage because he gave that classic soap opera performance with all the crying and, emotions about losing the woman, that he's loved ever since his teen years yet again because his stepbrother pretty much was like, you gonna get out of town and all this other shit and you not gonna be with Eric unless I'm gonna turn you into the cops, bitch, for killing Deimos, and Greg Vaughn just did those scenes. He was incredible and so proud of him. So proud of him. I had him penciled down. I waffled back and forth between him and Chandler, but I felt like Greg Vaughn, considering, the type of performer he is. And also, he's been on 3 of the 4 soaps, people. And usually when you have been on the majority of soaps, you're going to get a lot of love from the people that represent those shows and, who are voting. So I'm not surprised he ended up taking it finally. So congrats to him. Wonderful, handsome, gorgeous man he is. So let's go ahead and hit up the Lifetime Achievement right quick. Bill and Susan Seaforth Hayes were amazing in this Lifetime Achievement speech. It was touching. It was funny. Hearing Bill say homo was hilarious. I'm like, dude, you can tell he's like at that age where he don't give a fuck. Not to mention 90 years old. Like, come on now. That's the only thing. He don't say gay, because in his mind, gay still means happy. So when he said homo, I just died laughing. But overall, I loved their speech because they pretty much put out a challenge to Daytime in that speech saying, y'all need to start writing to reflect the world around us in this day and age, along with having love in the afternoon mixed into it. Stop with this bullshit. And I was here for it. I was like, yes, She's echoing what most of our soap fans have been begging for years out of these writing rooms and productions. We don't want any more doppelgangers. We don't want any more, switch their births. We don't want any more amnesias. We don't want any more brain tumors being excuses for bad behavior. We don't want returns for the dead anymore. It's time to start writing smarter and start writing with the world that is reflected in today's modern world and stop bullshitting. It's like you gotta start writing more smarter, and that is the reason why we've lost so many soaps, from the past, because a lot of the soap writers, started to rely on those soap tropes, and it has just killed the genre. It killed the genre. So we gotta stop doing that. And I was so glad that here they are, well into their 70s and 90s, talking about the genre needs to stop doing silly ass soap tropes. And that's saying something. That's saying something. So I was so happy to see that from them. And also, I had no idea that Susan C. Forth Hayes has been on all 4 soaps. I knew she's been on Days because she's a regular on there, or at least she's recurring on there. But you know her from Days, and I know she plays Lauren Fenmore's mother on Y&R when they have her on. But I did not know she was on Bold and the Beautiful. I didn't even know she was on General Hospital. They said her first job was General Hospital, before she went to Days. And I was like, damn, really? Then they said something along the lines of, I think Deidre Hall has said in the montage that they got married on the show. I think one of their episodes on Days of Our Lives, back in the 70s or early 80s, I think they got married on the show. So that was pretty cool. And I just love their speech. That, that couple, that's a couple you root for and you hope and pray that you get to be someday, when you find your own everlasting love. And they just support each other in more ways than one. And they're just adorable. And I'm just so happy that they had their moment with Lifetime Achievement. They finally got it and they had their moment and it was phenomenal. And I'm so glad they called out the industry for writing better fucking storylines than the stupid fuck shit that we've been dealt with for well over 25 years of this genre, So kudos to them. Next, we're going to go to the leading actor and actress category. So, best leading actress in a daytime drama went to, it went to, shockingly, an upset. Eileen Davidson won. I remember telling y'all in the video, my prediction video, that I think Eileen had an opportunity to possibly win this category. I know a lot of us, including myself, I'm not gonna lie, had Maura West penciled in, but I told y'all she wasn't a shoe-in lockdown to win it. She wasn't that. I felt like because she did go up against, Maurice Bernard, Laura Wright, 2 other powerhouses on that show, I don't know. It was kind of like the embarrassment of riches. She did great in the scenes. Maura West did, but sometimes when you have all of that goodness wrapped into one reel, sometimes the Emmys are like, look, you're a great actress, but we wanted to see more of you, and that's what we got from Eileen Davidson's reel, believe it or not, because her showdown scenes with Graham, the guy who plays Graham, over her fraternity being unleashed, her taking on Peter Bergman, when Peter Bergman's Jack was sitting up there trying to denounce her as John Abbott's, offspring, saying that you're not a blood Abbott, and Ashley had to literally tell him, I'm more of an Abbott than you'll ever be, type of stuff. And I was like, okay, Ali, especially when she went up against homeboy who played Graham. She literally, tore him apart, tore him off the bone. So I was like, okay, Ali, I was here for that. So there's nothing more I can say. I was very happy that she won, even though I thought Maura West was going to be Maura West was the projected winner for months. But Eileen taking it. Now she has one from Days and one from YNR. That's awesome. And again, that's another fuck you to this, industry. Because it's like Brian Franz, one of the leaders of killing the genre, didn't want, women like Eileen to be, front and center of a soap opera once they hit their 50s and then their 60s. And now here she is. She has 2 Emmys and she's almost close to 60 years old. That's saying something. If you write for these women and men who are in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, and you give them the storylines, or the material that you believe that they can carry, they will get a nomination or they will get a win like Eileen Davidson. And soon the next winner I will talk about shortly. You got to write for them. You got to write for them. Yes, do we need to find more 20 and 30 something year old actresses and actors, to carry on the next generation, Absolutely. I'm not begrudging that. But at the same time, I hate the adage of when these ratings start dropping, when there's possibility of cancellations and whatever behind the scenes bullshit goes on, there's always this big rush to push the veterans out of the way and thrust these newbies in front of the camera. And it's like, these veterans are the reason why people like myself and other people who are even around these veterans ages has been so loyal to the genre. So for this genre to constantly poo-poo on veterans, particularly one show in particular like General Hospital, they love to poo-poo on their veterans because Frank Valentini always is pushing his pets, or he's always pushing some, young person who can't really act that well onto the screen. And it's like, these are not the people that, people who've been so loyal to this genre wants to see every single day. You know what I mean? So kudos to, Eileen Davidson. Very good win. Upset win, no doubt. And I'm proud of her. And she looked phenomenal. She looked amazing, as usual. Best leading actor in a drama series went to who? Y'all better go ahead and say who it was. It was James Reynolds. I was thrilled that he won. I was so thrilled that he won. I was like clapping. I was crying. Yes, I was. And I don't cry when these people win on any award show, but for him, considering the type of material he got for 2017, 2018, dealing with the Black Lives Matter storyline, and him channeling, the hurt and the pain that every Black and brown parent feels in America once they send their son or daughter out the door, and there's a possibility they may not come back because their son or daughter might be gunned down, unjustly, or he channeled that. He channeled that so immensely well. And his speech was great. And I was so glad he put his name into lead. At first, I thought he was only going to do supporting. No, he said, fuck this. I may not be a lead of leads on Days of Our Lives, goddammit, but bitch, I'm going to put my name in lead and I'm going to win it. How about that? And he did. He did. And so I'm so happy for James Reynolds, and so glad Ron Carlivati trusted him to carry that material for those, was it 2.5 months that, that storyline played. And he did that. He did that. And it was a well-deserved, long overdue win, because he'd been nominated, I think, 3 times before. I think a couple of times for Days of Our Lives and one for Generations, and he never won it until tonight. So big congratulations to James Reynolds, much deserved, and I'm just so happy for you, so happy that you got it, and it made up for the Casey Moss loss, even though I'm still peeved by that. It made up for that one. And last but not least, best drama series in daytime went to, you guessed it, Days of Our Lives. I am beyond thrilled yet again that Days of Our Lives took it in Best Show. This felt very much like Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara was known for not being the most highest rated show in daytime back in the 80s and in the 90s, but you couldn't touch them in terms of material and performing, and they would always clean house at the Emmys, and even when they were on the Soap Opera Digest Awards. And that's what happened with Days tonight. They won in every major category but a few, and they just had a night. They had a night, and I'm going to say it again. This was a big fuck you to Frank Valentini, Nathan Varney, and ABC Network, courtesy of Ron Carlivati. Because Ron Carlivati, yes, he gets a lot of shit for how sometimes his storylines go, and sometimes he could go off the rails, and sometimes he could be like a hack, just like any other writer in the genre when he does his repeat storylines from show to show. But I'm not saying he's perfect, but damn it, look what he did tonight. Look what he did even a couple of years ago when he helped General Hospital win all of those Emmys. No, it was after he got fired. And, Tony Geary was running around in interviews calling him the writer, being disrespectful. And Frank threw him under the bus, trying to save his job, and he did. And Nathan Varney was rallying a coup, to get him out the door, and all of that happened, and now here he is on Days of Our Lives, and he's recharged, he's revitalized Days of Our Lives. Now, yes, I will say, Days of Our Lives, you winning all these awards, you gonna have to match it with the damn ratings too. That's my only issue with Days a lot of times. It's like, we'll win a lot of awards, but it sometimes doesn't match with the ratings. Or sometimes we'll have great ratings, but we never win, awards. And we need to do both at the same time. You know what I mean? And I can't, but other than that, that doesn't take away from us winning for all the great stuff. Was it Greg Main, Ken Corday, from my understanding, they turned in the double wedding. With that stuff, I was glad for that, because that double wedding was everything. And again, Robert Scott Wilson was the star of stars in that damn thing. And it was phenomenal. And I was glad that they, did the second half of Material and they turned that in, So I was thrilled about that. But I can't wait to see the television plug, the little commercial that they always have. Days of Our Lives, the winner of 5 Daytime Emmy Awards. I hope they don't just show it in daytime. I hope they show it in prime time. So people in prime time could be like, wait a minute, that Days of Our Lives is still on the TV? And they won 5 daytime Emmys? Okay, let me try to get back into this show again. Now, the problem is, that damn DID story is still on, and I'm just over that. But from what I've read about the DID story, not much for long for that to be over and done with. But that, that TV plug needs to be, like I said, in daytime as well as in prime time for at least a week, and yeah, but kudos to Days of Our Lives, the biggest winner of the night. And I told y'all this was going to happen. I told y'all. I said, look, they ain't going to win shit when they go to the creative Emmys, but you watch and see the major awards, they going to clean house. And what happened? They did that. So, big shout outs to, like I said, Ken Corday, Greg Main, Ron Carlivati, Sherry Anderson, Ryan Kwan, the rest of the cast and the crew. Over at Days of Our Lives, y'all were just incredible the second half of 2017. Y'all put y'all foot on the brake, and y'all gave us some great soapy entertainment. So, big congratulations on that. Um, and again, there were so many like more winners in other non-soap categories of black and brown. Um, talk show hosts. I was so happy for the real. I was also thrilled for the talk. Um, those two shows winning. That was great to see that they won. And Wayne Brady won for best game show host. I think Steve Harvey won for best informative host. I think talk show host. So it was a great night overall. I gave the show a solid B because I felt like it ran a little longish, and there were some moments where there was pitching issues in the audio when people talked or sang, and I was like, that's a little sloppy for me. Like, y'all should have had those kinks worked out weeks ago. Y'all knew this shit was gonna be online. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I gave it a solid B. I thought everything just ran smoothly. It was just a tad bit long than usual. I mean, typically the awards are 3 hours, sometimes 2.5 hours, but I felt like this year was just, it felt super long. I almost felt like 4 hours. I don't know. But anyways, that's all I got. Feel free to rate, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the winners and and if you're okay with the winners that happened on Sunday night. I'm pretty sure we're all gonna agree to disagree on who won. And yeah, that's a wrap, y'all. Talk to you all later. I will be back for later reviews on the Days of Our Lives, General Hospital. They get their mess together. Bold and Beautiful, if they really get their mess together. I haven't done Y&R, and I should, because that has been, in my opinion, the most watchable soap over the last several months. And I need to, possibly do a review over that one. We'll see. Anyways, talk to you all soon. Peace.